When I'm not learning, once again, what happens when you give a singer a responsibility as simple as setting up a camera.
Here we go. Really go crazy here.
Really, thanks for getting me in that
Are you in it?
No.
You're not even in it?
I like to answer questions and comments that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Big fan of your songwriting. You write amazing lyrics. Would love to get some insight on your process for writing great lyrics. You may have done a video already on it and I missed it. How does that creative process work for you from seed to sprout to full fruition lyrically? Any tips and tricks to writing such interesting verses and catchy choruses? Do you find yourself crossing things off in rewriting or does it come in a flow? You create such great visualizations and concepts with your words. Is your method scientific or just pure inspiration? Would love a lesson on your process. Maybe a pen or journal company can sponsor it. I am available. And thanks again for your wonderful songs. Thank you again for the incredible compliment, right? So, first of all, I want to preface this by saying I'm not right, I'm not wrong. This is just what I think about songwriting. With songwriting, lyrics especially, lyrics are very important to me. Lyrics are I spend so much time on the lyrics, and it's just the most important part of the entire process for me. But I will say that the better I get at it, the less I find that I write songs. So it's funny, this is gonna sound super pretentious, but I don't feel like I write songs anymore. I feel like I discover and I find something that already exists. So what I mean by that, for like the process of my songwriting, is it usually starts with me kind of noodling around, right? There is so much value into just noodling around with an instrument and almost zoning out in a way that like maybe like the muscle memory of your hand is just kind of going through maybe chord voicings, chord progressions, and then in the background your mind is kind of like attaching it to whatever you're hearing, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I think the musical education component of this is super, super important when it comes to writing lyrics. But I feel that the writing of like a piece of art or something is actually done in your brain in the background from experiences that you have, right? A lot of people get like writer's block and get stuck, like they can't, maybe they want to write a song or something and it's not coming. The best thing to do is to go do something that inspires you or just have memorable experiences in general, right? And I think that's such an underrated part to the entire songwriting process because like I said, I really feel like when I'm writing a song, I'm uncovering something. There have been times when I've been like in these like writing sessions and they're just super cringy because like I feel like a lot of people are trying to like write songs or like manufacture something based on what they think maybe like is popular or something, like trying to write like a catchy like hook or something like that. And again, no shade to that. Like pop music is definitely like, I feel like I can hear a song being written with most pop music where they're just looking for like a catchy hook or something like that. And the verse is just like an excuse to maybe get you back to the hook, which is fine. There's totally a lot of merit to that. Like I get down to a lot of music like that, but I listen to that more for like, the groove and the beat and the production, and the lyrics are usually just like pure trash. For me, as a songwriter, my take on it is the lyrics and the storytelling is first and foremost, and the music is just a way to kind of like put it all together, right? I never started out on guitar wanting to be like a shredder, like a master guitar player or anything like that. I really just wanted like a conduit for storytelling that I could just do by myself, right? I'll never forget writing my song Parador, which a lot of people have heard, right? I'll link you in the description if you guys are interested, because I think that was the first time where I feel like it came so easy that like I can't take any credit for like writing it. Like even though it is like a completely original song and everything, it's like I feel like I happened upon it and the chords came and the lyrics came and a story just kind of like emerged from it. In fact, I've animated the entire thing. But it was one of those things that like I feel like I could not have done had I not prepared myself from a standpoint of musical education, right? So real quick, just the chord progression like that is it's C sharp minor to B7, A major 7, A flat minor 7, A major 7, C sharp minor 7, D to A, and then we've got this C sharp minor 9, C major 6, B 13, and it's like, even though these chords seem like super jazzy, it doesn't really feel like a jazz song. What I feel like was happening when I was writing that, and one of the reasons that I think it came so quickly to me was the voice leading of these chords that I knew. It's like, all right, well, what's next here? Like, for example, let me just take that part. from like it goes C sharp minor 6 to C major 6 to B13. And it's like, you know, from a musical education point, like what is like a dominant chord supposed to, lead you home, right? But it's like, you know, that's not what I'm hearing. Like that's not what I'm trying to find. And that's why I said, like, I don't really feel like I'm writing songs anymore. I'm trying to find songs, right? It's like, well, once I hit that A major 7, it's like, that's where it's supposed to be. And it's like, again, it sounds so pretentious to me, but I feel like writing songs is like finding out what it's supposed to be, like what you're trying to say and how like you're processing like an emotion. And I feel like the musical education of being equipped with the tools of having different chord voicings is always going to help you and not hinder you. Like some people actually make a crazy claim, like, oh, learning music theory is going to like hinder your creativity. Like, are you kidding me? If anything, it's great because having all these different chord voicings at your disposal is essentially taking the basis of all music, whether it's just a single note to kind of like accompany, whether it's a major or a minor chord, anything like that B13, right? That's just an extension of like a B major chord, right? But that extension is pointing you to something else. And that's why when I say like I'm trying to like find where that song is going, it's like there is a natural way that that I feel like it should be, and I'm just trying to find it. And knowing the chord voicings is something that has helped me immensely. Now I don't want to say that like I never write stuff. Like one part of the question was like, do I rewrite lyrics and stuff like that? Like in some instances, like for the Emerald Rider stuff, right? Most of that is definitely like what I was talking about, like trying to like make sense of personal experiences that I've had, even though that's wrapped in this like Irish Celtic like fantasy realm type thing. I'm still trying to sneak my personal experiences in there, and I feel like that comes across in the visualizations of the lyrics and the music. But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I do have this project, and I'm trying to finish it, and I'm gonna have to write a song. And whenever I write a song and I write a lyric, because it's like, all right, well, there's got to be something here. I just got to make something that like fits from a phrasing and a musical standpoint and a lyrical standpoint, getting the melody on point. I always know when I've written it, and listening back to it, it's just like, oh, I wish I could have done a better job. So there's definitely a lot of merit to just finishing something. I think Prince actually has like a really cool story about, you know, if you know anything about Prince, he's got like thousands and thousands of songs that are like unreleased in like this like vault and stuff like that. That he was talking about, there are so many songs that are just like killer grooves and jams, but he took it as far as he could, right? And that is something I totally identify with. For every song that I've completed, I've got 10 that I never finished, you know? And that's not a bad thing, right? Because you take something as far as you can go, and then maybe you leave it, maybe you come back and you like rewrite something, maybe the story has changed. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about a lot of the stuff I have like in the vault per se. It's like, all right, I'm not able to take this song to the finish line yet, but I have it, and like maybe there's just something unfinished. I don't know why it isn't finished yet, but in my experience, I would rather kind of search for something else than really beat myself up over not having something to just put as a placeholder. Right? Because again, there's so many pop songs that I listen to, and it's like I can clearly hear that they just didn't know what to do. And it's like that line was written. That line's not supposed to be there. It doesn't flow. They're just trying to wrap it up, and it's written. And I truly feel like, you know, you can tell that. Again, whatever. You might not like my music. I don't really care. It's just, but it definitely is authentic, and I spend a lot of time thinking about the lyrics. You know, like what makes a great song. I don't know, you could ask Beato about something like that, but to me, like the greatest songwriters like, you know, Fiona Apple, Adrian Lenker, Elliott Smith, I feel like it's really obvious. Even storytelling songwriters like the Decemberists, you know, Bob Dylan, like it's obvious that like these stories are just being told in a fluid way where it just kind of came organically. And I think that's like a very, very important part to certain people. Again, like I said, I'm not right about this. I'm not wrong about this. This is just my perspective on it and how I kind of write lyrics. But I definitely agonize over it because sometimes it's easy to find out what your brain's working on behind the scenes. And sometimes it's impossible. Sometimes it comes really, really quick. But definitely the main thing that I can relay to you guys, if maybe you're stuck on like writer's block or something, is go out and live some life and have experiences and then get yourself musically educated so you have the tools to work through those experiences both in a musical and a lyrical way to make a cool, artistic, and pretentious representation of your life. Hey, do this video again when you're not drunk. I love this. So every now and then when I get a video that kind of pops off, like going viral for me, which is like, you know, maybe a few 100,000 views or whatever, what it does is it pushes that video out to people who have never seen my channel before, which is great. That's like such a cool thing when that happens. Creators get super stoked about that. But again, people seeing me for the first time, the influx of comments come in, and it's like, this guy is like so drunk. This guy's so wasted. Do it again when you're not wasted. You're so unprofessional. It's like I've never tried alcohol. I've never been high at all. So I guess this is just my general thing is people just think I'm like just like either stoned or drunk 24/7 all the time. Sean, was all that speed practice worth it? Did it make you a better player? So this is on, I think I did it maybe like 4 or 5 months ago where I was like really trying to get myself to shred. Shredding was always a blind spot for me. I never really cared about playing fast, but I was like, all right, for a month, I'm gonna dedicate myself. I got that Strandberg 7-string, which is amazing. I'm gonna dedicate myself to at least 1 hour every day, just like running 3 notes per string, major scales, and doing like kind of like speed picking, right? And it's like, that totally leveled up my playing. Like, it's actually ridiculous. Like, I was talking earlier about, like, this mindless noodling. Last night I was doing this on my Strat, just unplugged. And I was just kind of like noodling around, like something like that, right? And then I was like, wow. I had no idea I could even do that. And it's like, it's gotten, like, pretty clean. And the funny thing is, even though I haven't been dedicating like an hour a day like I was, I feel like I've retained the ability to like pretty cleanly pick very quickly, even like on an acoustic guitar. So yes, that was 100% worth it, and I feel like it's paid off in spades for sure, even on like acoustic guitar. What I will say though, it's not all about speed. I think the biggest takeaway from that was doing a 3 notes per string pattern totally changed the way that I see the fretboard. So check out my Patreon because I have a bunch of the shred lessons that go along with it and like exercises and stuff that I was doing. So I'll link the Patreon too because totally changed my playing, and there's a bunch of stuff on there no matter what level you're at, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Check it out and shred with me. Also interested if you guys have any other challenges that I should try, let me know. Must be a challenge to sing and keep up the Travis picking. Yeah, so this was on an original song I posted a few days ago where I'm Travis picking an electric guitar through a delay pedal, so you have to sync it or else it just sounds like sloppy. Travis picking is just kind of like that kind of thing, and that song that I was doing is like, and it's, you know, kind of intricate, right? And it's like sing along. Yeah, it was a challenge for me to be able to do that. Doing it live was the biggest thing because it's like, all right, I'm gonna play these songs live. I'm gonna do them Travis style and sing at the same time. Playing Travis picked rhythmically is the hard part. Isn't necessarily the right hand, because the nice thing about Travis picking is it's so steady. Bump, 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 bump. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I think the hard thing to sing and play at the same time are like broken rhythm type things. The hard part for that is if you do Travis picking stuff that isn't in like C or G, it's a lot of bar chords, and you can't really cheat the bar chords because like that root note is going from like a 1 to a 5. So the bar chords really like crap I remember at the end of that video, because I did like maybe like 4 takes through that song, I was like, oh my gosh, like my hand. So thank you for watching, but anything gets easier with practice. But yeah, Travis picking is a lot of fun, and I think it sounds pretty good. All right, so listening homework this week is going to be a cool instrumental band called Clever Girl. Definitely like just awesome to have, just kind of cruising in the background doing whatever, just like saucy, crunchy instrumental. So check that out because I've been jamming on it. And if you have any questions or comments, send me in the comment section, Instagram, or the website. Sign up for the Patreon, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.